We have another case, the Corsair 750D. So a 900D, a 350D, shagged. And we have this. Not quite as big as the 900D, it's smaller. It's actually closer in size to an 800D, but it's even smaller than that. The actual dimensions are 560, that's the height, 235 across, and 546 millimeters from front to back. Now we have a lot of options with this. On the inside, we've got some different hard drive cages that can move, but we have just a lot of open space to play with, and there's going to be a lot of options for airflow as well. First off, let's just go ahead and take a quick look at the outside of the case. Now, right on the front, you can see that we have just a sleek brushed aluminum finish. It almost looks just like the 350D. I actually like the aesthetic, but it's up to you. I'm not going to judge the case based upon the aesthetic. I'll let you make that judgment. All right, let's take a look at the ports on the front. We have our microphone and headphone. Beside that, a very small reset button. And then there's a flat power button. We have two USB 3 and two USB 2.0 ports. Beneath that, we have 3 expansion bays. Just remove the front and install your optical drives or whatever you want in your front screens. And then this entire area here comes off. You just depress each side, and then that lifts off. Beneath that, we have 2 140 millimeter fans. These are nice and quiet, and we have a dust filter. You can pull the dust filter off and clean it off. If you want to remove those fans, you can actually reposition them depending on what you're doing with the inside of your case. You can move them up and down. There's a lot of different holes in there. You can also replace them with 120 millimeter fans if you wanted to. Now on the back, we do have a 140 millimeter fan already installed, and there's some holes for 120 millimeter fans. There's also a vent along the top, and I've actually had success covering this up to improve airflow, but it's up to you what you want to do with this. If you're exhausting out the top, it may be nice to have this open to bring some air in and then exhaust just to have some cool air coming in from the outside. But if you're not running exhaust fans on the top, you may want to actually cover this up, because the idea here is net air displacement. Coming in from the front, out the back, you get the idea. We have 9 expansion slots in the back, and that'll allow you to use some large motherboards, and it'll also allow you to, if you're doing like quad SLI or quad crossfire, you can have a dual slot card in the last slot on your motherboard and still be able to use it. We have 2 grommets here. These are metal grommets. And then we have our power supply area at the bottom, and there is a dust filter beneath that, so you can pull that out and clean it up if you like. We have a steel side panel on this side, and then on the other side we have a large acrylic window cut into the side panel. So let's go ahead and take off that large acrylic window and get under the freaking hood. Support just about any motherboard you can find. Let's start off at the top here. Those 3 expansion slots or expansion bays. Those are all toolless there. Beneath that we have our spot where you can mount your fans. You can mount a radiator in the front if you like. It'll support dual slot radiators. And here's an interesting thing. We have 2 hard drive cages in the bottom. They're both removable. You just have a couple screws here on one side, and then you can pop it off and remove it. You can stack these. You can reposition them if you like, or you can remove them entirely, because this is not our only option as far as hard drives go. We have some spots in the back where we can mount some 2.5-inch hard drives, and I'll show you that when we take the other side panel off. But let's go ahead and pull out these trays. You have the standard plastic trays. They're plastic and whatever. You can toollessly install your 3.5-inch drives, and your 2.5-inch drives you'll need to install with screws. And we also have some screws and some cable ties and all that sort of thing in here. Your power supply again installs in the back, and fan faces down, exhaust out the bottom. There are some, small metal standoffs to elevate it just a bit. We have large cutout area behind the motherboard tray, so you can mount all your large cooling units. Lots of rubber grommets to route cables, and we have a ton of space above where the motherboard's going to be. We do have some spots where you can mount additional fans. You can get 140s or 120s. You can run radiators. You can run like a push-pull radiator configuration. And the entire top has a really fine mesh that will kind of act as a dust filter. I also want to note that wherever you're going to be putting a fan, you have a rubber spacer. So there's like a little rubber, rubber insert for sound dampening and also to help with the vibration. We have them here on the top, just already pre-installed. And we also have them here on the back fan and on the front fan as well, so that's going to help to keep things quiet. The maximum GPU length in this, 460 millimeters for the top slots, and the lower slots are going to be, bumping up against the hard drive cages. So if you remove those, you'll still have the 460 millimeters of space, but if not, you'll have 340 millimeters of clearance there. Maximum CPU cooler height is 180 millimeters. That should accommodate just about everything on the market. All right, let's pull off the other side panel and take a look behind the motherboard tray. We've got some interesting stuff going on over here. You may not have seen anything like this before, but we have 4 spots where you can toollessly install an SSD. I would not recommend installing a mechanical hard drive over here because it's not really made for all the vibration that you're going to get with a mechanical hard drive. But an SSD, you can install all 4 of those over here. All you do is pull the little lip down and slide it into place and it snaps in. You can pop out the entire tray if you like. We have a little over an inch back here of space behind the motherboard tray. So it's a large case, but it's not a massive case. It's also not extremely heavy, especially compared to the 800D, which I've been using for a while. And all you guys who keep asking for, hey, where's the price and where's the links and everything like that, the price, the details, and the links, and a spot where you can go ask questions, all is in the description. Just go ahead and click on that and everybody will be happy. All right, so that's the end of this video. I'm gonna go make some more videos now. Bye.